I found out my sister was the reason no one made it to my high school graduation. First, I'll clarify that my high school graduation was 6 years ago and I didn't care much. I was raised in a low middle class family, not poor, but money was almost always lacking, and my parents worked very hard so my sister and I could go to private school. I believe that given this context, graduating from high school was the least I could do and isn't something that deserves a celebration. It was more of a duty. Well, moving on to my high school graduation, it was a disaster. There was a lot of disorganization, some kids laughed loudly the whole time to ruin it, several classmates left in the middle of the event, and in the photos I'm holding a diploma that doesn't even have my name on it. I didn't want to go in the whole time, I just wanted to leave. My family, parents and sister, arrived at the end when we had to leave. I only got pitiful applause from a few teachers when I walked on stage and I felt horrible. However, I never blamed my family for that. It was a dumb ceremony and we lived more than 2 hours away in an area where it was easy to get stuck in traffic since they told me that happened. Well, yesterday was my college graduation. My sister lives in another city and couldn't come. My mom got stressed because we were late, she got mad at me and while she was scolding me she yelled, "The same thing happened with your high school graduation. Your sister started arguing with Frank and we were late." Frank is my sister's ex-boyfriend, who lived in our house at the time. Turns out that all along that was the reason. It's not hard for me to imagine it happening because my sister and Frank used to argue a lot, although they lasted 4 years together. But they couldn't handle it one day for my graduation? Did they have to start at the exact moment that they were going to leave the house for my ceremony? The three of them agreed to lie to me 6 years ago and moved on. I didn't say anything, I let it go and we went to the ceremony. On the other hand, my mother's memory is very deteriorated and she often mixes dates and events. Should I ask my sister about it? Or should I just let it go and forget? Like I said, I feel like graduating from high school wasn't a big deal and I don't want to make a fuss over something so stupid, but to this day I remember how alone I felt walking on stage with no one to support me and I feel horrible. I felt very alone and unwanted, almost like crying on the stage.